Good morning. Back on the ranch. Just got done traveling for the last 2 days. Had to head to San Francisco, looking at a couple businesses to acquire up there for one of the businesses we just launched called Buffalo Growth Partners. Something about getting back on this ranch makes me always want to sing the song Back Home Again in Indiana. My dad's from Indiana. We don't live in Indiana. We're actually in Texas. But I have yet to find a song that talks about back home again in Texas. Once I do, I'll probably play that song. Just gonna get the boots on here. Gonna go check on the animals. Gonna go see what's new at the ranch. It's a really foggy morning, kind of creepy, honestly. Driving in this morning, it was almost eerie. There was this fog across the ground that you couldn't really see through. Makes me think I'm gonna smoke a deer or something like that. But we got a nice little rain last night. First order of business for me is gonna be to check the rain gauge. I have never cared about rain, but now that I'm trying to get grass to grow, literally all I care about is how much rain we've got. I track it, keep it all in the journal, and I could tell you how much we get each day, how much we get each month, and how much we're at year to date. The one thing I did ask for Christmas is a better rain gauge. My in-laws got me this one last year for Christmas, and it's solid, but I swear it doesn't do a great job. Oh, 0.15, it's not bad. It's not bad. A little something, get the ground wet. Look at this girl, man, Pearl. We've had a lot of issues with this girl. She just keeps running away. But that's what they're meant to do. That's what the Great Pyrenees are meant to do. On Saturday, we got these two heifers weaned off their mamas. They're over here in the center pasture. Check on them, see how they're doing. Both of them are looking actually pretty good. What's up, girls? How you guys doing? We got Bloom. We got Goldie. What's crazy is when you wean a calf off of the mom, you want to do it between 6 and 7 months. Sometimes you do it a little sooner. If it's like a little bull calf you're going to take to the sale barn. But around the 6-month mark, 7-month mark, you want to wean them off their moms, because the moms keep producing milk and the babies keep drawing down the mom. And eventually, over time, the babies don't need the milk, and all they're doing is depriving the mom of nutrients and her ability to regain her strength and her size for that next calf. Most of our cows get bred back somewhere around the 60-day mark, so you want to give them a few months without a calf on them while they got that baby growing inside of them, without something constantly nursing from them. Whenever we wean, the cows will moo constantly for days, and I mean days. The moms will walk the fence lines looking for their babies, The babies will be mooing, looking for their moms. There's a couple cows that we've had that get over it within, I don't know. I always pick up garbage on the ranch too. But there's a couple cows that have gotten over it in a day, 2 days. These ones though, these ones aren't happy. Vanna literally jumped the fence the other day to go find her baby. Beto woke up in the morning, found her standing alongside the fence line mooing at her baby. So we've had to move her to the back pasture so she can't see her little baby and can't hear her as well. But we're probably another 3 days away from the calf circus choir, or whatever you would call it, stopping its daily tune. Check on the little babies, man. Look at these little guys. What's up, guys? What's up? Another one of the tricks we do at this ranch, we have a creep feeder. So the creep feeder is literally designed so that only the babies can get in. Oh, sorry guys, sorry. So these gates right here make sure that the big mama cows can't get in there. And we fill the creep feeder up with feed so that the babies can get more food, which helps them develop faster, helps their horns grow quicker, but it also helps keep them off their moms a little bit more. If they're getting a lot of food, a lot of nutrients, a lot of protein from feed, that's an all-you-can-eat, open all-day buffet, they're far less likely to constantly be nursing on their moms. And that helps the moms regain their weight and helps them raise healthier, stronger calves. We got our bull pasture up here. Taurus is up here breeding. Misty, I love when it rains because she usually gets cleaner, but right now, this girl is filthy. Beautiful white cow, she is a filthy mess. What's up, girl? Funny thing is, that's not even her calf hanging with her. We got Taurus. Got him measured last week. This dude's horns, with still 3 months to go before he's 2, are already well into the 60s. Gotta be careful around him though, because he's the one bull that we've had that has like a little bit of a trigger inside of him. Most days he's pretty chill, he's pretty calm, but every once in a while he gets a little rambunctious. And he's not afraid to charge you and remind you who's in charge of this herd. Sure as hell ain't me. Let's go check on Arissa. This girl just literally got bred last week by Taurus. So we'll wait 21 days, see if she comes back into heat. God willing, she won't come back into heat. She's scheduled a calf September 13th, 2026. Not that I'm keeping track or anything. Everything looks good so far. I always like to check on the water troughs too. People don't understand how much water these cows drink in a day. And we've got some huge tanks, so it's not something I really ever need to worry about. But I always want to make sure that there's no issues with the water. Highlands are looking good. They should be having their babies here probably early February, mid-March, something like that. Somewhere in that time frame. Everybody's looking good. It's crazy. I'll tell you something. One of the things that this ranch has taught me is my whole statement of action beats inaction 100% of the time is absolutely true. But when it comes to ranching, the part of the statement that I failed to include is that action without knowledge does beat inaction, but it also costs you a heck of a lot more money. So when we bought this place, we probably cleared over 500 cedar trees off of this land. These cedar trees, they're just terrible. They choke out all the oaks. They take all of the water from the trees that you really want to grow and thrive. And so we had to clear out all of these cedar trees. Now the good part is we got rid of all the cedar trees. The bad part is I cannot get grass to grow to save my damn life. I've probably spent $5,000 on grass seed. In the spring, some in the summer, some in the fall. We even just planted 3,000 pounds of winter rye. And it took in some random areas, but in the main areas, the areas that I really needed grass, nothing, dirt. So I have to feed more hay than I would like. Round bales right now are running around $100 a bale. I gotta feed more cattle cubes than I would like, running about $13 a bag from Tractor Supply. But I have to make sure that our cows, our animals, get the nutrients and the protein that they need to continue to grow and to continue to develop, most of which is provided by grass. But when you don't have any grass, you just got to spend a bunch of money. Another thing I failed, well, I didn't fail at, but let's call it a little lesson, is we redid all of our fence lines. So we moved all of our fence lines up closer to the house, increased the size of our pastures. And when we originally did that, I thought we would just do a rolled fence. And what a rolled fence is you put steel posts in the ground, drive them into some concrete, and then you put this rolled wire up. And I like to put 3 strands of barbed wire, one at the top, one on top of the rolled fence, and then one at the bottom. Now, it's a cheaper fence, and it's actually very functional. Like, it does the job. The problem is 2 things. First, the zebras love to use the fence as a way to scratch themselves. And so what has happened is as the zebras have scratched themselves, they have caused the fence to start to bow out. Not good. The other problem is we have so many guests, so many visitors, so many families come out to the ranch and visit, and it doesn't matter how many times I warn people, Watch out for the barbed wire. I'm telling you, every single time a kid cuts themselves or a parent snags their clothes on the barbed wire. And so again, action beats inaction 100% of the times, but when it comes to ranching, action without knowledge leads to a lot more money. So right now, Beto's redoing all the fences. We're doing a top rail, a bottom rail. We got sucker rod coming today, and then we're doing these cattle panels. You can do it a couple different ways, but ultimately, I like to take shortcuts when it comes to the fences, when it comes to the animals. So while a lot of people took pipe that's 2 3/8, we use pipe that's 2 7/8. This is big, serious pipe. Most of it actually comes out of old, decommissioned oil rigs. And this is all drill stem piping that they use on the oil lines. So most of it comes rusted. We cut it down, usually comes in 32-foot sections. And then Beto cruises around the place with the welder, and he just welds pipe fence, welds it up all day. I love picking up garbage. I hate garbage. People ask me why I'm obsessed with picking up garbage at the ranch. These cows are so damn curious, and they're always getting into something. And the last thing you want is for your cow, your $74,000 cow, to eat a little plastic thing and die. So I'm always looking for garbage. And the prior owners of this place, they didn't really take care of the land quite like I like to take care of it. And so they used most of their pastures almost like a dump yard. When we bought this place, we found silverware. We found every piece of garbage known to man. Like, look, this is a piece of garbage I just found. Guaranteed this is from them. This is some wire, cord, probably from a headphone, something like that. And what happens when it rains is the erosion happens and new garbage kind of starts to pop up. So whenever I'm walking around, I'm just always picking up garbage, always looking to get rid of stuff. It's no different than, honestly, your junk drawer at your house. It just fills up with junk that you don't need, that you don't want, and you don't even know you freaking have. Oh boy, that's just some mushy grass. Just praying that we can get the grass to grow. When we bought this place, this entire pasture was weeds and cedar trees. All these beautiful oak trees, these beautiful live oaks, were getting choked out by all the trash that was growing. And so we cleared it all out. But what happens, you also end up losing a lot of grass because you're driving the skid steer, you're driving the tractor, you're burning, you're hauling. So we're working really hard using pasture rotation, which is a practice I learned about, to try to get certain pastures resting, other pastures being grazed on, seeding, overseeding, fertilizing, weed killing, just constantly trying to improve our pastures. My goal is within the next 2 years, these pastures almost look like a hayfield. They're thick, long, lush grass. Our animals will be so fat, shiny, happy. My bank account will be much happier because I won't be spending $100 a bale on hay that I swear half of it gets thrown on the ground by these cows and peed on and pooped on. It just takes time, it takes patience. And that's the one thing I really recognize that the ranch brought me to my life. I'm not the most patient person. I don't do really good with waiting. I'm kind of like ADD with a little mixture of OCD, where I want to go 100 miles an hour. And when I put my mind onto something, I'm going to achieve it immediately. Like, I obsess over it. I hyper focus on it until it becomes a reality. But with the ranch, it doesn't matter how much I try to do that, you can't make it happen. I've tried to force cows to have babies because I didn't want to wait anymore. Didn't work. I've tried to speed up time so we had babies on the ground sooner. Didn't work. Tried to get grass to grow faster. Didn't work. So I look at what the ranch has done for me, and one of the things is it's brought me the practice of patience. patience. It's like a muscle that I have to develop and build. Look at this girl. So, girl, how are you? It's Rosie. She doesn't know it yet, but in about a week, she's going to be introduced to a boyfriend, and she's going to be bred for the first time. I try to breed our cows somewhere around 20 months old, but also expose them to the bull where the timing makes sense. You don't want them here in Texas to calf, especially as a first-time mom, in June, July, or August. So we try to hit the 20-month mark, but we also look at the breeding season and make sure that it makes sense based on when they would calf. So she's actually going to get exposed right at the 20-month mark because that will give her roughly an October baby. October is a good time to calf for a first-time mom here in Texas, but some of them will expose closer to 24 months, and others will expose. Oh, Vanna's still looking for her baby. Others will expose closer to 18 months, again, trying to hit that really good calving window, especially for the first-time moms. What's up, girl? See, this is what drives me crazy. $100 for a bale of hay. Now look at this girl. She is standing on top of the hay bale, just eating. Then what happens is hay gets thrown on the ground. Now if they don't pee on it or they don't poop on it, they'll still graze off the hay that's on the ground, but they stand there and eat, and then they pee, then they poop. So all that hay, $10, $20, $30 worth of hay, trash. Drives me nuts. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good. Again, this entire space, cedar trees, weeds, mesquite trees, cactuses, all of it's gone. It looks so much better, but it's dirt. It's not good. Not good for your animals. We got to get the grass to grow. This is one of the mamas whose baby just got weaned off of her. She's usually super sweet, but she looks a little testier today, a little mad at me. What's funny too is when they lose their baby, or you wean their baby, they'll get super stressed, and so they won't eat quite as much as you'd like them to. So they'll kind of look almost like they're losing weight, but after they get over that, in again 3 to 5 days, they'll put the weight right back on. They'll go back to eating, acting normal. But because they're stressed out and worried about where their babies are, they're walking more, they're pacing more, they're more active, and they're less inclined to actually eat. It's almost like they're depressed. So just got to keep an eye on them, make sure that they bounce back well. It's a weird morning, and it's like foggy. What's up, girl? It's painted dream. She's only 14 months old, so she's got some time yet before she gets exposed. This is Augie. It's the first heifer ever born here. She's got, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 more months before I want to expose her to a bull. The one thing she does have going for her is she's a very, very big framed cow. And so I might actually expose her a little sooner than I would somebody else because of the size of her body. It's funny, it's not like an exact science. It's kind of like your grandma's home-cooked spaghetti. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little dash of this, and that's the right recipe. It's kind of requires you to use a lot of judgment, but when you don't have a lot of experience, using your judgment can be difficult. So got a lot of really good mentors, really good peers, watch a lot of YouTube content, listen to a lot of podcasts, just trying to learn, trying to shorten my learning curve, and trying to make sure that I make the best decision for our animals, for our program, and for the overall longevity of their ability to reproduce. It's no different than in business though. Whenever you're trying to do something new, it can be hard, it can be scary, but if you have a mentor or a coach, somebody you can lean on, ask questions of, that's done it before, that's made all the mistakes before, and you can learn from them, you can avoid a lot of landmines, you can achieve things you want exponentially faster, and you get to do it with people that care about you, believe in you, are excited about what you're doing. So I always look for mentors. I always look for peers. I always look for coaches. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a college dropout. I don't know what I don't know, especially when it comes to ranching. So it's important for me to learn. We're going overkill here. We got the sprinklers running. Oh, geez. Trying to water this winter rye, trying to get this grass to really take. Even though we got a little over 1/10 of an inch of rain, we're just adding extra water to the soil. We've got a 40,000 gallon rainwater collection system here, so I don't feel guilty about watering because we're collecting the water off of our roofs that would have went into the ground, putting it in this giant holding tank, and then reusing it, filtering it, purifying it, and using it for the water inside of the house, but also use it to water the pastures. So while most people don't want to spend the time, the money, or waste the water in watering their pastures, I justify it with this notion of that water was going to be in the ground anyways, so why the heck not try to get the grass to grow better? Oh, one thing I need to check is the diesel. Yeah, we're under 1/4 of a tank. We got a diesel tank here. That's what we use. Fuels the tractor, fuels the skid steer, fuels the Ranger, side by side, whatever word you want to call it. So I just got to keep an eye on that thing. We usually have to get that, I think it's 50 gallons. I don't know how big it is, honestly. Usually have to get it filled every quarter. Just want to make sure we don't run out. Let's go check on the pigs. I forgot about the pigs. We have 2 miniature potbelly pigs. They're both about a year old. Bought them last year. And the mom, Rosie, just had her 2nd litter of pigs. She had 9 babies. Unfortunately, one of the things that can happen with pigs is the mom, when they're just a couple hours old, unknowingly will lay on the babies and will kill them. And so we unfortunately lost one of our babies. So our litter is down to 8. We got 5 males, 3 females. They're already on solid food at about 3 weeks old. They're still nursing on their mom, obviously. So, dude, you are a filthy mess. You are a filthy mess. Yeah, hi. Jeez, they are a disaster, these dogs. Oh my goodness. But anyways, the pigs are already on solid foods. They'll still nurse from their mom, but they're probably gonna start to leave the ranch here in the next 2 weeks. We'll sell off all the babies. That income will pay for the feed, for the mamas and the daddies for the next 6 weeks. And then she'll have another litter of pigs. She has a litter 2, maybe 3 times a year. My guess is she'll get bred back here within the next 30 days. So that puts her at the end of January, mid-January. I hate those roosters. Mid-January, she's pregnant for about 120 days. May, yeah, so we'll have 2 litters from her next year. Chickens aren't laying as many eggs, so I'm not even gonna waste my time checking the eggs right now. They're going through what's called molting, which is the chickens lose their feathers when it gets cold out, and they molt, which means they grow back new feathers. When they're going through molting, it requires a lot of energy to regrow those feathers. And so the energy they're usually able to put into egg production now has to be put into feather production. So our flock, I think is what you would call it, of approximately 50 chickens, on average lays about 35 eggs a day. But right now, we're down to 12, 13 eggs a day, just because they're not as active and they're molting. Nothing better, man. No better way. Getting back to the ranch, checking on the animals, checking the water tanks, checking the fence lines, reflecting on all the work going on, all the work still to be done. I can tell you this. Traveling for work is important. I love meeting people, especially businesses that we're going to acquire or partner with and scale. But being home, being on the ranch, is what life is about. Miss this place when I'm gone. But I don't miss watching the cows trash the hay. That drives me crazy.